Hey everyone. I was on the phone with a friend and we were talking about bucket lists and how the things on the bucket list came true, and then a personal prayer came true, and she saw the sign that she wished for, and but I think the bucket list is a form of imaginings, prayers, manifestations, that's all. But for some reason, my mind went back to the time when a police officer, the neighbor across the hallway, this was back in 2012, 2013, I had thought that someone was entering the apartment. I ridiculously thought that with the police officer across the hallway, that I would be safer. So when I walked my dog Luna at the time, I didn't necessarily lock the door. I closed the door, didn't necessarily lock it, but I would come back and sometimes I would feel like someone was in there. But you know, there wasn't. But one day, my dog and my cat Bellissimo and I, all three of us, were in the balcony. So it turns out, and I was on the phone as well listening, so I was not tuned into what was going on in the apartment. But so from anyone else's point of view, I was quiet because I was listening to what was on the phone. But then I heard something, and I quickly turned the corner from the balcony, and there's the police officer in my home with the door open, and still in uniform. And instead of passively accepting it the way I did with most of my stuff, as I say, I actually jiggle ran toward him. I was a lot heavier back then, but I actually went towards him and chased him out. He did close the door behind him. Well, it didn't click close, but enough that it shut the view. And so I whipped the door open, and he's pretending to shake out his, well, he actually is shaking out his welcome mat, pretending that that's what he was doing all along. And I told him, I said, don't ever come into my home again. What the hell were you doing? I never came into your home. Anyhow, as scary as that was, because, you know, person of authority in uniform, entering my home without, and then it took me a week to report it, because I just figured, you know, friends protect each other, not just in the police force, but everywhere. So, but then when, you know, well, did you ever invite him in before? And, you know, was the questioning by the detective, has he ever been in your home before? Yeah, he was. Well, so he had a reason to come into my home. No, that's not a reason, just because I invited him in before. I didn't even invite him. He pointed out that my flower boxes were on my balcony and not on the floor part and not on the railing part, because I did not have the right setup. And he, in meeting him in the parking lot, had said that he could come in and put them up on the railings. So, you know, it was because of him that he was in my apartment. I could have said no to that, but that would have been lovely if he would have done that. He came in, he looked at the balcony. He did not put the flower boxes up on the railing. But the point is, that was enough reason for his friends to say, well, he says that he thought your door was open and he wanted to check in on you. he had my phone number. Why did he have your phone number? Because whenever someone new moves in, I give out my phone number and say, welcome. If you ever need me, I'm here. But, you know, he could have called me to check in on me, but whatever. At the time, I felt very scared and was in the victim-y thing. But what I realized years later is I had actually imagined that beforehand. I was wondering, as I was laying in bed, if I would ever share the bed with another man before. I was with my husband from 17 to 37 for 20 years, and I didn't really know how to be with anybody else, and I didn't know me enough. I did realize that men came in different kinds. I just thought men were like my father, so I was kind of going to the familiarity of my husband, and I just I didn't really speak up. I just lived the life that was given to me. I'm not here to trash anybody. It's just when after the divorce, after a few years, I was like, would I be strong enough to kick someone out of my home? And even a person of authority, or, you know, someone that the society would respect, would I be strong enough to do that? And that's what ended up happening, right? So I believe, whatever you want to say, God, higher self, source, or just me and my imaginings, I got to practice kicking a man with authority out of my house. I knew I would live, that's not exactly how I imagined it, but I can physically kick someone out of my house. Now, I've had a couple experiences where it's with men. One was a roommate and one was the wanted fugitive. I didn't know he was a wanted fugitive, but I, you know, asked them to leave, the roommate and the wanted fugitive boyfriend. If you don't know that part about me, yeah, that's part of my history, her story. But I'm strong enough. And why is that important to me? Because that allows me the knowing, the freedom that I can have whom I want. I'm not scared anymore that I might choose the wrong guy. So in a weird way, I won't even choose the wrong guy because I now know that that's not what I need. I know it's a ramble, but in a weird way, I take partial ownership, if not all. This only is for adults, by the way, because I imagined it and then it came to fruition. So, yeah, be careful what you wish for is definitely a true saying. But there are lots of good things. I was talking with a friend of mine about bucket lists and how, you know, putting it down and, you know, bucket lists, the things on her bucket list came true. Just like my daughter's bucket list was singing. This is when she was a child, singing with the national anthem at a professional ballpark. And I thought, what did I do introducing her to the bucket list? But, you know, within a year, she sang the national anthem at Turner Field, which is not even a... anyhow, they switched fields. But that was the Atlanta Braves, you know, ballpark at the time. So be careful what you wish for. And some of the wishes that do come true are for your highest good in the end, because now I know that I can have a good guy, in my home. I don't know. Ramble, ramble. Love you guys.